Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week is Stupid for the 4th of July, 2021. As a representative of the media, I do hope that you're staying indoors and you're staying safe, social distancing right now, because if you're out there partying, then you're not listening to this wonderful segment. So this is how I get the wider audience by encouraging people to stay at home. Why do you need to party anyway? I mean, didn't you just have the Juneteenth? Didn't you just have the Pride Month? There's no reason for you to go out there and jeopardize your health any further. Just chillax with This Week is Stupid. Now, a lot of you guys are asking what happened to Carl, the previous owner of This Week in Stupid. Why doesn't he get to do this segment anymore? And the answer is that he would love to. But unfortunately, he has been taken by the Facebook Trust and Safety Council. You see, he is undergoing rehabilitation at Facebook right now. And it all started by receiving this message. Carl, you may have been exposed to harmful extremist content recently. Violent groups try to manipulate your anger and disappointment. You can take action now to protect yourself and others. Get support from experts, spot the signs, understand the dangers of extremism, and hear from people who have escaped violent groups. Click Get Support now. Just click here, you bigot, and get into contact with a team of highly trained experts that Facebook will provide for you. Man, I really am in awe at how powerful Facebook is. They get to prevent extremism before it even happens. Where were they in France when the Nice attacks took place? Where was Facebook then? If only we could have a time machine and we can send Facebook into the past, they could have prevented all the radicalization of those young men from committing atrocities. Yeah, no, I genuinely think that this is the correct path. We need to defund the police and fund Facebook. Facebook needs to be the arm of the law. I mean, seriously, think about it. Like maybe in the future, you can have Facebook just tell you, hey, we noticed that one of your neighbors is potentially a home invader. And we want you to know that this is how you can protect your house from home invasion. And then they can send you to a link where you can shop various burglar alarms and various products to defend your home. Wouldn't that be awesome? Man, like I'm looking forward for the future. It's really bright and all we need is to help Facebook get us there. But not only that, I hope that in the future, maybe, Facebook can attain the rights to the phone company and then it can turn the phone company into a private company that can do whatever it wants. And one night you can receive a phone call. And you can hear from the other end of the line, Tovarysh, we know that you may have been in contact with some individuals that were spreading counter-revolutionary information that can destabilize our great society. Subject yourself to a highly trained team of our experts right away. I do have one question, though. All of my friends seem to have received the warning. Like, all of my friends were told that they have been subjected to extremist content and they should click the link to get help. I'm the only one that didn't. I'm the only person that didn't get the memo. I'm the only one that didn't get the message that I have been subjected to extremism. What do you guys think that means? Like, what? Is Facebook trying to implicitly tell me something? And by the way, like, you always get put into contact with a team of experts. Like, they never teach you how you can be the expert. Did you notice that? Like, why can't we just skip a step? Why can't we become the experts? And the answer to that is that, well, being an expert is a very difficult job, you bigot. You would not be able to do it. So let me show you just what experts do as part of their job. You will be mind blown and you'll realize just how insignificant you are compared to the experts.
I don't know why I bring all these papers. I never look at them.
Oh, when you're giving numbers, I do. I go, oh. I said that. Did you really say that?
I just say whatever they write down for me.
That's why you're guessing.
Nah, man, that's just too hard of a job. That's way too difficult for me to do. I wanted to be an expert, but unfortunately, I can't. I mean, You gotta carry papers all around, and you don't even have to look at them. I mean, the curiosity alone would kill me, but yeah, like it is what it is. And then you just gotta read things that they put in front of you. No, I wouldn't be able to do it. So yeah, I'm resigned just getting help from the experts and the journalists, which are the only ones that can understand what the experts are saying, of course. But anyway, let's talk about something more entertaining. What day is it today? 4th of July. What should we celebrate? Oh, I know. 100 years of communism in China. 100 years of CCP. That is beautiful. That is just mwah. And I watched CNN. I watched American media to see how they treat this very interesting celebration. Because I'm used to CNN being highly critical of nationalism. They're very, very critical of imperialism. They're extremely critical of authoritarianism. And I just wanted to see how they deal with the Chinese celebration. So let's find out.
It's not just happening today, it's not just happening this week, it's been all year long, and the message that has been coming from the Communist Party has been the same. All that is good has come from them.
And it has culminated to this day, a day of projected strength and triumph for the Chinese Communist Party. And in the last few hours, we heard a very lengthy speech from the Chinese president and General Secretary of the Communist Party, Xi Jinping, in Beijing, in which he marked the milestone, in which he praised the successes of the party in the last 100 years, in which he also praised the national rejuvenation that the party has been able to achieve. He also had some more pointed words. While he said that, made the claim that China has never bullied other nations, he had this message for China's rivals. Take a listen.
At the same time, the Chinese people will never allow any foreign forces to bully, oppress, and enslave us. Anyone who tries to do so will find themselves in a collision course with the Great Wall of Steel forged by 1.4 billion people.
Xi Jinping also said that no one should try to underestimate China's strong ability to defend its sovereignty. And when he used those words, strong ability or 强大的能力, that brought about a huge reaction from the crowd, a roar, a huge round of applause. Now look, in the days and weeks leading up to this moment, there has been wall-to-wall coverage in the real world and also online and in state-run media praising the party and what it's done the last 100 years, being able to transform a nation that was once impoverished, racked by famine and civil war, and turn it into an economic and high-tech powerhouse. That was underscored by a message sent earlier today from outer space. 3 Chinese astronauts on board the Tianhe Chinese space station module beaming down to China. Congratulations to the party on its centennial. But this day, analysts say, is not just about the party. It's also about a person, Chinese President Xi Jinping, the core leader of China. Take a listen.
He's powerful until things run against him. So at the moment, he's doing quite a good job of controlling the narrative around where China is going. And it's, from the outside, appears to be an increasingly hardline narrative. But he does certainly seems to have a firmer grip than he had on power in 2013, that's for sure.
And a firmer grip on Hong Kong as well. Today is also the one-year anniversary of the imposition of the national security law. In the last year, 117 people have been arrested under the law. John.
So, Christy, when we're looking at the situation, one of those aspects which, maybe not so glorious would be the situation in Hong Kong with the democracy and the handover from Britain to China. That was 24 years ago also on this day.
Yeah, that's right. And today, marking a number of anniversaries, the centennial for the CCP, 24 years since the handover, as well as 1 year of the national security law. And this day, July 1, historically speaking, in Hong Kong, which used to be a raucous and rebellious place, would be a day of mass protest. But for the second year in a row, no protest taking place on a massive scale this day. There was a small protest that we monitored earlier today, 4 people marching on the streets of Hong Kong, surrounded by police, saying release political prisoners and down with fascism.
My God, that was beautiful. Like, I want to have a girlfriend like that CNN anchor that talks about my achievements like she just talked about the Chinese Communist Party achievements. I want that in my life. But more importantly, I finally understand the type of United States president that CNN would appreciate. I mean, whenever you have a protest, you need to surround them with police. You need to make sure that the police kidnaps the activists during the middle of the night. More importantly, what Trump could have done in order to please CNN, when you have all of these controversies in the United States, like, I don't know, like critical race theory, is it bad, is it good? No, what Trump should have done is what the CCP has done. He should have managed to censor any type of negativity about American history. He should call nihilistic history to be any type of negative news about what America did in the past. And any person that posts nihilistic history should get banned from social media. He should have surrounded protesters with police, like China did in this picture. He should have kidnapped activists during the middle of the night, like China did during the Hong Kong protests. He should promise America another 100 years of Trump reign. And maybe then, I think maybe then CNN would have started to like Trump, and they would smile whenever they talk about him. They would appreciate whenever he pops up in a conversation. Because otherwise, CNN won't respect him. I mean, you saw how they talked about him. It's like, oh, fascist, fascist this, fascist that. You need to become a non-fascist. You need to become more like the CCP. But you know what? I'm not being fair. I'm being a party pooper. I'm being a killjoy. Why do I not focus on America's achievements during this glorious day? Why would I focus on other nations? I mean, it's the 4th of July, right? Come on, let's have some positivity here. Let's read some American news. Biden Moomer's ice cream order. Double-dipped waffle cone with vanilla chocolate chip. Oh my God, Ellie Stockholz, you're journalisming so hard right now. That is just the best news that I have seen all day. That is of major public importance. That is definitely like, wow. And did you see just how many apparatchiks were in that picture? Was that in America they don't call them apparatchiks, they call them journalists? My bad. Did you see how many journalists there were in that picture? And like how much equipment they brought just to film El Presidente having a scoop? Oh, that was beautiful. Do you know why they hound him so? They hound him so because he is successful. Because he is doing what's right to the American people. Do you want to hear one of the accomplishments that the Biden administration has done? Why do people assume that I'm going to be negative? No, I'm genuinely going to talk about an accomplishment. All right? Like every single American voter is going to benefit from this. Look here, bigot. It's from the White House. The White House itself. It's got a blue check mark. You know it's official. Planning a cookout this year. Catch up on the news. See, they got a little bit of a humor there. Because that's what you get when everything is going fine. When everything is going your way, you can afford the little humor. According to the Farm Bureau, the cost of a 4th of July barbecue is down from last year. Life is improving, isn't it? It's a fact. Hot dog, the Biden economy plan is working, and that's something we can all relish. So how much money are you saving this year for the 4th of July cookout? The cost of a 4th of July cookout in 2021 is down $0.16 from last year. My fucking God. If I was an American, I would be rich. I mean, look how much money you're spending with Biden. You voted Biden. You voted for your wallet. That was like a smart voting choice. And the victories just keep coming. I mean, look at the job growth. Just look at it. No malarkey here. 3 million jobs in the first 5 months of office. Unlike the virgin 900,000 under President Donald Trump. Isn't that astonishing? You know what? There was like that lady, I believe she was in California, if I'm not mistaken. She was a restaurant owner. And her restaurant was shut down because of the pandemic. But literally right next to the restaurant was Hollywood making a movie with actors inside the restaurant. So she wasn't allowed to have clients in her restaurant, but, you know, essential businesses had to keep going, so Hollywood got to shoot a movie over there. Now, I bet that woman has a lot to thank Biden for. Like, she should go to the White House, kneel in front of Biden and kiss his feet for allowing her to have a job open, for allowing her to reopen the restaurant and being one of the 3,023,000 people that have a new job now. Now, one of the main reasons that the government allows her to open her business is because of the vaccine. More and more people are getting vaccinated, and most of this is thanks to Biden. Because you see, he is encouraging people to do so. And in his latest take, he is telling people that are still on the fence after all this time to get vaccinated, or they can risk killing their pet.
Judgment is coming out that we may be able to even communicate the vaccine, the new variant to your pets. So I say, not totally facetiously, for those of you who haven't been vaccinated because you don't think you want to go through it. It doesn't hurt. It's accessible. It's free. It's available. And not only don't think about yourself, think about your family.
Now, I gotta say, although there are many victories and it's a beautiful administration, there are still a couple of hiccups here and there, some minor setbacks. For example, the crime seems to be a little bit up. It's reaching levels of the 90s, but, that's fine because apparently California has a violence prevention chief. All right, like he is in charge of preventing violence. And I gotta say, he did a good job because I saw him getting robbed on air. I'm not even kidding, like someone would stick him up, not only to him, but to his camera crew. And there was no violence. I mean, they gave the robber what the robber asked for, and the robber peacefully departed. So, great job, I suppose. But it's okay, because do you know who stops crime? The experts. And you always need to trust the experts. Do you know who's the expert at stopping crime? The police, that's right. The police can stop the crime, and it's because the Republicans defunded the police that we are at this point where we are at now. I mean, look, the White House spokesperson said that Republicans are responsible for defunding the police. Now, she didn't mention exactly who, but you have to understand how sneaky and conniving these Republicans are. They're defunding the police in liberal cities. That's how powerful the Republicans are. Like, they managed to defund the police in New York, to defund the police in California, to defund the police in Minneapolis. Like, that is just how dangerous these Republicans are. But worry not, okay? Worry not, because when I think of the police, I think of the color blue. Do you know who else is the color blue? The Democrats. They are hand in hand with the cops. They are going to help raise the cops in order to crack down on crime. But before they can do that, everyone needs to stay calm. Everyone needs to listen to one of the most popular Democrats in the history of the United States, and that is, of course, AOC. You see, in a Zoom call, she said that people need to dismiss concerns about rising violent crime because it's just hysteria. So she says that, that this doesn't drive a hysteria and that we look at these numbers in context so that we can make responsible decisions about what to allocate in what context. Brilliant. So who are the people that she is talking to? I mean, obviously the people living in liberal areas, like her constituents as well. And she's addressing them, right? Stop being hysterical. So let's listen to some of the people that should take advice from brilliant and charismatic AOC.
Many people complain there aren't enough officers.
We need more police in Auckland.
So often people broken in to the cars, homes. So no, I disagree with defunding the police.
Many people say they're fed up with the gun violence.
I understand why people want to defund the police. They think the police are violent, but who's going to save us when we need to call them?
A lot of people just do not feel safe because we need police, and the community need to work with the police in order to help curb some of this.
But who cares what people in the community think? I mean, that's why we have experts, and that's why we have activists. So they can tell politicians what the reality on the ground is, so that the politician can make intelligent decisions. Whenever in doubt, listen to that song. It's like, listen to the experts. No, honestly, I mean, I don't know how humanity managed to survive up till now without experts. I mean, can you imagine a world without Facebook, without the Trust and Safety Council, without experts on the news telling you what to think? I'm just aghast. I'm like, how did the people manage to figure it out? But luckily, we have experts now, and they're hard at work. Always hard at work because there's always more work to be done. And now they're tinkering with the US military. They're figuring out how to constantly improve and make the US military more progressive. Right now, their sights is on the Air Force. And apparently, the new Air Force fitness test will feature walking instead of running. You know how they call this? It's called choose their own adventure. Right? Like if you want to go to the US Force, you get to choose your own adventure and you don't have to run anymore. You can just walk and they will allow you to pass. Anyway, we'll return to you after a commercial break.
拿起钢枪，就要放下儿女情长；穿上军装，就要舍弃舒适安逸。征战疆场，男儿本色；从军报国，此生无悔。我是中国军人，我是人民子弟兵，我是美好生活的守护者。
This is the story of a soldier who operates your nation's Patriot missile defense systems. It begins in California.
What in the name of Jesus Christ are you animals doing?
With a little girl raised by two moms. Although I had a fairly typical childhood, took ballet, played violin, I also marched for equality. I like to think I've been defending freedom from an early age. When I was 6 years old, one of my moms had an accident that left her paralyzed. Doctors said she might never walk again. But she tapped into my family's pride to get back on her feet, eventually standing at the altar to marry my other mom. With such powerful role models, I finished high school at the top of my class, and then attended UC Davis, where I joined a sorority full of other strong women. But as graduation approached, I began feeling like I'd been handed so much in life, a sorority girl stereotype. Sure, I'd spent my life around inspiring women, but what had I really achieved on my own? One of my sorority sisters was studying abroad in Italy. Another was climbing Mount Everest. I needed my own adventures, my own challenge. And after meeting with an Army recruiter, I found it. A way to prove my inner strength and maybe shatter some stereotypes along the way.
Вопросы могут остаться без ответов, но разве ты сумел знать себя, познать границы своих возможностей? К черту границы, а без боя нет победы. Но на самом деле, главный враг — это задача выследить врага, догнать его, превзойти, стать лучше, чем...
And welcome back to the show. In other news, female motorist 31 makes international headlines as she claims that the petrol pumps are sexist because their male-designed handles hurt her small hands. And with this, we can finally understand that all roads lead to sexism. You see, if you were to make a pump that is for men and a pump that's made for women, then obviously that is sexist because you think that women are weak. But if you don't, then that is sexist because the petrol pumps don't have their handles specifically designed for tiny hands. And as such, this is the beauty of critical race theory. This is exactly what it's supposed to do, to educate people, to ask not if something is sexist, but how something is sexist. And it doesn't have to be just with sexismus. For example, the LA Times has posted in the past, knowingly exposes others to HIV will no longer be a felony in California. But you know what can be a felony? Not wearing a mask. Remember, saving even one life makes it worth it. But infecting someone else with HIV knowingly, wiggle room. Also, the LA Times, STDs in LA County are skyrocketing. Officials think racism and stigma may be to blame.
Can I do fractions? Yeah.
By the way, I would like to ask the officials and the experts, why is it that I don't make as much money as Gargura? Why? Like, look at this. Look at this. It's making me cry. You know, like I got jealousy in my heart right now. Like I got a lot of envy. Like, what does she has and I don't? Look. Oh my God. Oh, why? I want... is anyone here an official? Is anyone here an expert to explain like this huge disparity between her channel and mine? Is it sexismus? Is it racismus? Is it homophobismus? What is it? It is an ismus, isn't it? It's an ismus. But all jokes aside, okay, like if you enjoy This Week in Stupid, please consider thumbing up and subscribing. It helps with the algorithm. More people get to see it. And if you want to go overboard, then you can share it on your social media. You can share it on Facebook. You can share it on Twitter. You can share it wherever you want. You can share it in public, like go with a trench coat in a playground and you go like, hey kid, want some This Week in Stupid? It's fresh. It's coming out this week. But if you're really crazy, like you really want some of that buyer's remorse, you can either give me a super chat or there is a link down below where you can subscribe to my Subscribe Star. And then you can give me a monthly donation. Wedding is coming, you know, this is my job, so I would appreciate it. If you can't give, that's fine. But if you like it, do thumbs up. Hopefully you enjoyed this particular episode. And as usual, I'll be live streaming right after this. Like right after this, you can go on my live stream channel and I'll cover some of the news that I didn't cover here. So if you enjoyed it up till now and you want to keep laughing, then there's more news that I haven't covered here because of the span of time. You know, I try to keep it 30 minutes. If I make it a little bit longer, not only the algorithm doesn't like it, but people tune out. I have statistics, okay? I got experts behind me. They're telling me, like, you need to keep it 30 minutes. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the comment section. Take care.